Hi, my name is Rick Amero. I'd like to tell you a story about a very special person. My father, Charles Amero Charlie, is one of the thousands of humble heroes that fought for our freedom in World War II. Born and raised in Essex, Massachusetts, he was drafted into the U.S. Army in May of 1943. Charlie was with Company D, 26th Infantry Regiment of the 1st Infantry Division. At 20 years old, he landed at Omaha Beach on D-Day. After 285 days in combat, Charlie was wounded on March 17, 1945, near the Remagen Bridge. On this day, Charlie was one of only 9 guys left that landed with him at Omaha Beach. Charlie and 110 soldiers of Company D stayed at a farmhouse in between the Battle of the Hurtgen Forest and the Battle of the Bulge. Charlie lost his best friend in the Hurtgen Forest, dying in their foxhole, wounded by a tree burst. All total, Charlie would bury 37 soldiers he had trained with in England. For 3 weeks, the soldiers enjoyed a much-deserved rest from the daily rigors of combat. That rest ended at midnight, December 16, 1944. Charlie and the soldiers of Company D climbed out of their warm sleeping bags to go fight those Nazis again. In the spring of 2001, my father called to tell me he had received a letter. Whenever my father called me, it was always for a good reason. This call would change the course of my life, setting me on a journey to learn about my father's war. The letter was from Marcel and Matilda Schmetz, the owners of the Remember Museum 3945 in Claremont, 2 miles from the American Cemetery in Henry Chapelle, Belgium, where several of Charlie's friends are buried. They wanted to know if Charlie was one of the soldiers that stayed at Marcel's parents' farmhouse in December 1944. Marcel was 10 years old at the time. They were writing to Charlie because Marcel and Matilda were coming to the Boston area in June of 2001 to attend a soldiers' reunion. They wanted to know if Charlie would be there. They wrote in the letter, "We would enjoy seeing all of you because we are so grateful. We owe you something very important, and that is our freedom." That is the line that launched me on the quest to tell my father's war story. For the last 18 years, I've been researching Charlie's war travels and looking for someone to write a screenplay. I tried writing it myself, and I'm not that good at it. I had 2 writers attempt the story, but they fell short. We need a script and a good script. Good scripts cost money. The perfect person to write this incredible story I met 18 years ago. John Jacobson is an Emmy Award-winning writer, director, and producer. John has been a great friend, a mentor, and knows Charlie's story very well. John has some great ideas on how to bring this story to the big screen, one we will all be proud of.
I get pitched a lot of stories from writers or people who want to write or producers, and you're really looking for one main thing, and that is heart. Does the story move my heart? And of course, when you hear about Charlie, Rick's dad, landing on the beaches of Normandy and crossing France in all those battles, we've heard that story before, but Rick's love of his father and admiration of that amazingly challenging and terrifying journey across Europe was very, very moving. Rick's love of his father is so compelling and so moving that you want to pay homage to that. And then I've been talking to Rick and trying to help him for 18 years. You see that it's unwavering. Nothing keeps Rick down. He just keeps coming back. Goes, oh, that didn't work. We'll try this. And that's got to be great. I assume he got that from his dad. And, you know, that sort of, don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to stop, sort of must be like Charlie landing in D-Day. Don't know what I'm doing. Keep my head down and keep pushing forward. Don't quit. You know, and that's very compelling because I think it's a lesson for everybody. I think we're all, every day, if we're even the smallest bit self-aware, asking, who am I? Why do I do the things I do? Why did I say that yesterday? Why did I react that way? Some of us wrestle with guilt, and some of us wrestle with angst and insecurity, and those are all, I think, very human, natural emotions to have. but they're also there to challenge our versions of ourselves, the version that we present outwardly so you can see me as this, which is usually created to protect that scared inner version of myself. So I'm not going to let you see that. But the truth is, we go to stories, we read books, we go to plays, and we go to movies. Yes, of course, to be entertained. So when you ask people, why do you go to movies, they'll say to be entertained. Of course, no one wants to sit through something dreadful for 2 hours. But we really go to answer that question, who am I? We sit in a dark room, whether it's at home now with those great theaters that we can have, or at the theater, where no one can see us essentially, and we identify and bond with young Charlie, landing on the beaches of World War II, and we wonder, what would we do? Who am I? Who is Charlie? And as we watch Charlie go through the horrors of war and still keep going to fight for the right thing, we hope that we would be that young man. And we learn from Charlie that yes, even though I'm not on the beaches of Normandy today, I will have some kind of challenges today, or tomorrow, or next week, sometimes pretty horrific challenges. Will I be as brave as Charlie, dig deep into my character at the worst of times to show who I really am and who I really want to be? I think that's why we have to support stories like this, and why war stories, and World War II stories in particular, are a very important genre that way.
I'm asking for your help in raising the money needed to get the screenplay written. I'm not asking to be reimbursed for the money I've already put on the project or for any other future production expenses. We'll figure that out later. My father and millions of soldiers fought hard for our country and helped save the world. Charlie was a humble and very kind man, the kind of man everyone loved. He would also never tell anyone his own story. So, along with your help, we will tell the story for him. We must not forget about all the men who sacrificed their lives so we can enjoy the freedom we have today. I also want to recognize the countless hours Matilda and Marcel Smet spend each year honoring the memories of the American soldiers that freed them from tyranny.